Video games are a strange form of media. Their ultimate goal is often to be the best, as with anything, but where do you go once you've hit the heights, or even progressed the genre? Sure, you could stick and try to do the best all over again, bigger, better, yada yada yada. But then what if you achieve this, and still keep going? Doom! The game seen by most as the creator of the FPS genre as we know it today. A game that was important for the industry as well as user-made content, and by large didn't really change too much, and that includes Doom 64. And then things went silent. When a game series enters a state of dormancy, it not only fades from the eyes of the masses, but also begins to sink under the coming waves of new technology and trends. Trying to rebirth a series after a long hiatus, in a whole new world, can be, well, messy. Alone in the Dark, Bomberman, Golden Axe, Turok, Bionic Commando, Duke Nukem are just a few series that went on ice only to return in a whole new landscape, and all of them failed. It wouldn't be until 2004 when the Doom series would return. Existing in a world post-Half-Life and pre-Half-Life 2, id's iconic first-person shooter found itself in an interesting spot. Doom 3 is its own game, while still maintaining the strong DNA set by the originals. The setup is very similar: kill demons, find keys, tickle imps. But that's not to say they're the same. Doom 3 isn't just more Doom, but a different kind of Doom. Packing all the bells and whistles of id Tech 4, Doom 3 was the poster boy of the engine, and it also found itself as one of the front champions of Microsoft's big black box. With that in mind,
it doesn't matter what you think, Bill.
Doom 3 goes all out to show off all the fancy aspects of its engine. While this comes as no surprise, it does affect the overall flow of the game, but not in a bad way. Well, at least for most people. Doom 3 is a claustrophobic crawl through the narrow, dimly lit bowels of a base set on Mars. Leaning more on the ideals of dealing with space and immediate danger, the atmosphere was thick and foreboding, cracking with the sounds of various horrors that would portal in or emerge from the environment around you. The longer Doom 3 goes on, the more intense things become. Hot swapping between flashlights and firearms dices up the frantic repelling of enemy ambushes. Back then, there was a reason why people updated their PC rigs, or even bought an Xbox. But it was also a successful return for the Doom series, with a new direction, and then the series went back to sleep. Side note, the Doom 3 shotgun was, and always will be, a little banger that thrives in the chaotic nature of the closing acts of the game. God bless you, my sweet pumpy prince. The next big entry in the series came in 2016. The whole timeline of Doom's off-season activities, including early development for a Doom 4 that never came to be. Much like its predecessor, this new Doom found itself in a new landscape with new trends. So how did Doom 2016 fit in? The truth is, Doom 2016 didn't even try to fit in. With a fistful of confidence, it shattered the walls of expectations and dived headfirst into pure pace FPS. Speed, power, gore. But enough about me. Doom 2016 made no illusions to what it was trying to be. A complete rebirth of the series, gone with the corridors of flickering lights, in its place, fast-paced brutal action that was accessible but still maintained a good amount of depth to experiment with. Everything Doom 2016 does is synchronized with its tone. Guns are punchy, the gore is over the top, and the Doom Slayer is fully characterized from the first 20 minutes of the game without saying a single word. Hell, even the tagline of Rip and Tear is perfectly placed. Doom 2016 tore up the rulebook for what a Doom game is, and with those freshly sundered pieces, it rebuilt the series into a new form. The age of aggression had begun. How do you follow up the sheer ferocity of Doom 2016? Simple. Make it even more ferocious. Doom Eternal, released in 2019, elevated the core combat from its predecessor. Like, literally. While 2016's Doom had an element of verticality about it, Doom Eternal turned the dial up to 666, grappling around from pillar to post, leaving various forms of coloured mist in the air. Eternal is the most brutal form of Doom. Outside of Brutal Doom, but we're not talking about mods, at least not yet. Eternal's gameplay loop of switching weapons and offense is incredibly small. It keeps the player constantly on their toes and keeps engagements varied and fresh throughout. There's no respite, with engagements requiring the player to identify key threats, as well as dealing with their own resources and ensuring they're in a constant state of movement, It's relentless, fast, and ever so satisfying. But what goes up must come down. Doom 2016 made you vroom. Eternal made you zoom. And Doom the Dark Ages, well, it made you stand and fight. At least that's what the marketing claims. Fair, the claim is true. With the third entry into the aggression era of Doom, the Dark Ages is yet again another adjustment to the Doom style. On the surface, the Dark Ages may feel like a speed bump, but there's still a level of haste that keeps in touch with its brethren. The real adjustment is in the focus on toe-to-toe combat. It's in your face, chin smacking, knees to stomach, metal hammering. You get the idea. It's a lot more closer and more intimate affair with the Legions of Hell. There is a small tint of discontent surrounding the Dark Ages, however. Be it down to some baffling marketing choices or the idea of going from fast-paced aerobatics to in-your-face close combat. Side note, let's be clear though, this isn't a melee Doom game. Naturally sound less rapid. And they're right. However, Doom's alteration of its formula was always going to happen, and that's how the series is now. In this current age of aggression, Doom 2016 is a punch to the face. Eternal is a head kick, and the Dark Ages is a drive-in knee to the solar plexus. Each of the new Doom entries represents a different form of offense. Dark Ages may not be as fast as a punch or a kick, but the slow delivery of the knee still lands with impact. The adjustment to the formula in Dark Ages works well. Side note, the dragon sequence goes on for far too long, creating a new flavour to the familiar meal. And I say all this while holding the view that Doom Eternal is still the better game, but that does not dent my appreciation for what the Dark Ages is and the journey the series has been on for nearly a decade now. As we mentioned at the start of the video, it's not easy to bring back a classic series and place it in a modern scene successfully. id has managed to not only rebirth Doom, but to craft into something unique and constantly evolving, a feat that very few developers can boast. After all this success, however, the next question is, where does the series go from here? Do you prefer Doom to go back to its original roots, or maybe lean more into a Doom 3 style? Or maybe it's just time to let Doom have a break, and maybe go back to Hex and Heretic. If you enjoyed this video, I upload every Friday. There's a new topic every week. We don't really stick to one specific thing or niche, so you never know what's coming next. Probably something on Diablo though.